One of my favorite things about working with the SpyFu GPT is that it meets you exactly where you are. Sometimes when you're working with a tool, whether it's SpyFu or SEMrush or Ahrefs or whatever, you might know what you want to do, but where do you start, right? So with the SpyFu GPT, you can just tell it what you want to do, and it'll figure out what data it needs and guide you through step by step. So just as an example, my sons both play club baseball, and their coach, the owner of the team, knows what my company does, roughly. And so he told me he's building a website for the team and asked if I had any tips. Now, normally that's a really tough one, right? I can set him up with SpyFu, but there's a lot of judgment calls along the way, positioning, CRO, etc. And so even to explain it, I'm never quite sure where to start, I can give him all the power tools in the world and lessons from my 25 years of building a business on the internet, but really, no matter what, his first step is to get something out the door, right? Get something live. And the SpyFu GPT miraculously gets that done. I think maybe even better than I could. And it's well informed. It meets you right where you are, wherever you are. So check this out. We're going to start with the simplest possible conversation starter. How can I improve my website? So I've already done this. And what it does is it sort of starts you out with this simple step-by-step of how you would go about starting to build a website, gives it kind of this context and gives you an outline of where you could go. But ultimately, I'm okay, I don't want you to run an analysis for my domain because I don't have one yet. So I said, well, it's a new website for a baseball club based in Scottsdale, Arizona. Can you help with that? And so it says, perfect. Thanks for clarifying. And so it starts to lay out these steps specifically for this Scottsdale baseball content cluster. Talks about how it's going to create some blog posts, some event pages, a schema markup. It figures out how it's going to create some paid ads and some social and community growth, where it's going to do that: Instagram, TikTok, engage local sports influencers, etc. And then it says, since your site is new, we won't have much SpyFu data to pull yet. Of course, you're not going to have any. So would you like me to start with your domain if it exists yet, or competitor clubs first? And I'm this is great, right? It's just walking us right through the whole thing. And I'm start with some competitor clubs. Do you already know them? And it's great choice, starting with competitor clubs. Sure, I already know them. It sort of figures them out, right? It is blending this idea of what it knows, right? These are actual, baseball clubs that my sons play against. And it's taking that and combining it with its knowledge of SpyFu. And now here it's going to say, okay, next steps. I can pull a keyword gap analysis and explore competitor pages, camps, tryouts, etc., and extract structured content ideas using the SpyFu SEO reports. It's going to build a localized content plan, blog topics, landing pages, summer baseball camps in Scottsdale, etc. And it says, would you like me to run a SpyFu keyword plus domain analysis for a few of these competitor clubs? It's okay, yeah, do that. Here it goes. Talking to SpyFu API. So now it started but what we're doing is we're combining kind of ChatGPT's inherent knowledge of, sort of the local area. And, because that's the thing, is that one of the challenges that I would have in describing what to do, right, is there's SpyFu research, which is very online. And then there's the local research, which is all about local marketing and knowing what baseball clubs exist. And that's kind of semi-online, semi-offline. Anyway, so it's combining these things, and now it's going to go out and figure out, which of these things are worthwhile competitors to emulate. So it pulls all of them all at once, right? Beautiful. Pulls all of the, which ones are ranking the most. And then it says, here's your top performers: AZ Elite Baseball Academy and the Scottsdale Little League. Okay, makes sense. Most clubs don't get huge traffic. Makes sense. So it's winnable. Many rank in the 40s. Page 4 through 5 of Google, leaving plenty of room. And then it comes up with some content gaps. Do you want me to pull the top keywords these competitors are ranking on so we can build content and ad campaigns for them? Yes, perfect. Talking to the SpyFu API. So then it pulls all these keywords. Perfect. Baseball clubs near me, baseball academy, elite baseball, T-ball, all the things, right? And it's going to figure out the key SEO wins And then it says, all right, let's build a landing page for Scottsdale Youth Baseball League, Scottsdale T-Ball, Scottsdale Baseball Camps and Clinics, and Scottsdale Elite Baseball Teams 8U through 16U. Perfect. That fits. I mean, probably not T-ball. I don't think that they're doing T-ball, but that's okay. Do you want me to take this a step further and map out a ready-to-use content plan with titles, meta descriptions, blogs, landing pages based on the competitor keywords? Yeah, give me the content plan. We're going to make a homepage optimized for local SEO, written in a conversion style, AIDA, structured like a real homepage, heroes, benefits, programs, testimonials, etc. And so then here's the draft, headline, subhead, CTA, register for now for the fall 2025 season. Our mission, right? Programs, why choose us, testimonials, CTA. I could just ask this thing to build the HTML, right? I'm going to do that for us real quick here. Cool. Oh, still working. All right, so I'm gonna just plug in this. I'm gonna take this the HTML that it generated here, and I'm gonna paste it in here. I have no idea what this is going to look like, but it's probably going to be decent. So let me redeploy. Oh, I think I need to save this. Save file, redeploy, and let's see, copy link. How to do? That's a link to that. Hold up. Okay, so here's what it produced. Like one shot, we've got like basically decent copy that's probably SEO, that's definitely SEO optimized, and communicates realistically what we're doing. I'm gonna ask it to improve it visually and see if it can do that. Let's see what happens when we paste this new one in. And I'm going to save. I always forget this one. Save file and redeploy. See if it improved. I mean, honestly, let's see. Oh my God, not bad. Okay. Okay, I mean, it put like bike riders in the back, but this is pretty decent. Okay, so like there we go. So like from nothing to here, and we're like kind of in a decent spot. And there's even some animation here. Honestly, if I told it to do some more stuff, it certainly would. Can you make that hero image of like some 12-year-old baseball players republished, and then bam, here we go. So we're getting closer and closer. You just kind of like, this is how you build these websites. You just keep asking it to refine, and it does. But actually what I do want it to do is what it was prompting me is what it was asking me for earlier. Would you like me to create a blog content plan? Because that's actually probably more like what we want this thing to do for us. There we go. Boom. Nutrition, fantastic. Right. Do you want me to draft one of these blog posts in full? Absolutely. Yep, let's do it. So it's using all of this sort of keyword research that it does at the top. You kind of think of it like, okay, ChatGPT is doing a bit of its own work, but ChatGPT is doing a lot of its own work. It's doing most of the work, right? We didn't build this part. We're just fueling it, giving it the data that it needs in order to make these intelligent decisions that it would ordinarily not be able to make by itself. Getting from help me improve my website, getting from I just want to have a homepage for my baseball club to literally having a decent homepage for your baseball club, like at the end of like a 10-minute session. It's building out the meta descriptions, it's building out the titles, it's doing the H1s and all that stuff right. Like look at what we have in here. Everything is proper SEO It's just building a nicely optimized, well-researched page and ultimately website with strategy. Starting from the question, help me improve my website. By the way, I don't have one. I love how this can work for so many people. As a nerd, I might like the power that comes next.